is BYOT. Bring your own tacos.
Dick swinging.
You're listening to American Slacker Podcast.
We can say fuck.
With Matthew Gertz and Jesse Landers.
I don't care, I've been smoking, this is cool.
That's a decent amount of sausage.
This man needs a doctor!
Yeah, I just hope they're tasty.
What's up with these clowns, man?
Cut the lights and went through people's pockets.
Don't you point that at each other.
Let them smoke a little. You need to step it up to that point. We're not gonna lead with the.
We're not gonna lead with
So how was apple picking? How many pounds you walk away with?
I got the little bag, but I'm giving them away.
Oh shit! Too many.
We might go again because we're gonna go pumpkin picking, and we might get more apples too, or whatever's around. It's fun. I like doing it. It's a good time out in nature. The thing that fucking sucked this time was I was expecting it to be cold, but instead it turned out to be 87 degrees.
Oh damn!
So I was fucking sweating to death. I was like, whoa, unexpected.
Well, you went
Dying.
on the first day of fall, pretty much, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah. So we're having a late summer here in the Northeast. I don't know about you, but it's been nice. I've been enjoying it otherwise. But I'm ready for fall for the few things, like Halloween.
Oh, yes.
Very into
Everyone's
Halloween.
getting excited for Halloween.
Yeah, man. That's my favorite holiday.
I'm hoping to be able to find some apple picking now that I moved a little bit north of where I was living. And I guess there are some orchards that survived in this area. But Washington generally has, all the apples for the West Coast, it seems like.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you should definitely, on a weekend, just take a day trip. It's nice. I don't know. It's a little detached, it's simple.
I like the fucking cider donuts. That's what it's all about.
Got some, had some this morning. They're fucking dank.
Pop them in the microwave for 30.
That's the whole reason I'm going. I'm not even caring about these apples. I'm just thinking about getting the donuts on the way out.
That's a good way to start your day. Cider donut, coffee, episode of American Slacker.
Hell yeah. Sounds good. And speaking of, welcome to American Slacker Podcast. As always, I'm Matt.
And I'm Jesse, and you better watch those donuts.
Yeah, too many of those.
I'm going to get them.
Oof, you gotta be careful of too many of those, and you'll end up doughy yourself,
Yeah, very true. Gotta make sure you're doing some walking along with that.
Yeah.
Well, we always want to start off by giving some shout-outs to supporters of the show.
Hell yeah, let's start off with our good friend David Gunn. You're the man.
Thank you, Dave.
We appreciate it. You're always hitting us with feedback, and you support us, so thank you so much, man.
He's super fan status.
Hell yeah.
He's the top slacker.
Slacker numero uno.
We also want to give a shout out to Kyle, Noel, and Bradford at the Crime Roulette podcast. Make sure you check them out.
Hell yeah, they do awesome work. And they got an awesome spin on the crime podcast.
And we also want to give a shout out to Aaron W. from the Yes and I Am podcast. Make sure to check that podcast out as well.
Thank you, Aaron.
So what do we got coming up in the show, Matt?
Oh, we're going to start out with a good chunk of bizarre news. And I'm really happy with the selections we have this news. I'm pumped for it. Then we're going to go talking about video games. Mainly, we've been playing Dead by Daylight. It's fucking sick.
Crazy.
And then we're going to finish it up with the Wheel of Weird, where we have 3 selections that are probably our best yet, too. So this is going to be a good episode. Stick the fuck around.
And with our weird news, we always like to start out with a little bit of weed news. This time we're in my state of California, where they have banned drone delivery of legalized marijuana.
Oh,
So
they don't want you flying the weed in.
No, they do not. California Bureau of Cannabis Control says no to autonomous drone delivery of marijuana. They said,
a drone with a fat sack, and you just take it out with a boomerang, and you got 2 ounces of weed for free, and a drone.
Well, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of questions that come up with the autonomous driving cars, the drones that can deliver stuff. You can get pizza delivered by drone, but you can't get.
Yeah,
weed.
there's a lot of stuff. I saw there's a robot truck. It's a small little contained thing that delivers pizzas now. I think it's somewhere in Chicago. They're test running it. It's literally like a small cart that's just like a tank, and it just delivers the pizza out in front of like wherever you are.
Probably has like a little oven in it or something.
Yeah, it has a warmer actually in it, and it has like all the cameras so it can like detect where it is in the GPS navigating unit.
Huh. Now I feel like this. No, it's probably not the F. What is it? Not FCC. FAA. Like
yeah.
they've been really hating on drones.
Yeah,
so
like
I don't.
The permit
maybe they're
issue,
just saying
everybody has to register.
Yeah, maybe they're saying like there's too much flying in the air these days. I would assume that would be an issue, but based on this article, they're just they're trying not to have drugs flying around automatically.
True, I can understand it. I guess we're not ready for automated drugs, especially when legalization is still such a new topic.
Right. It could end up in the wrong hands very easily. At least they're... And, if, say, an autonomous car got pulled over and they searched it and found a ton of marijuana, they might not have any idea where it was headed or where it even came from. Whereas if someone was driving, there's at least a person to question that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they can show that they work there, documents, all that fun stuff. Traceable.
If you're interested in getting into the marijuana business in California, I suggest that you read the PDF called Commercial Cannabis Business Licensing Program Regulations. And the article that we discussed here with cannabis drone delivery, we will be posting on our Facebook page, so you'll be able to find that PDF here if you're looking to get into flying weed around California.
Oh, man. Well, the gentleman in our next story was grounded, but he still had all kinds of things flying around.
Uh-oh.
A German tourist has been arrested in Pattaya, Thailand, for masturbating while riding an electric unicycle naked.
See, electric unicycle naked, that sounds very dangerous.
Now, I'm looking at a photo, and he also has a couple grocery bags full of shit. So, it leads me to believe that he was holding this stuff while masturbating, while propelling himself on this motorized unicycle.
This man deserves a medal. Should be in the Olympics.
Jesus Christ. Ripley's, believe it or not, needs to contact this guy. He's a 56-year-old, and he shocked tourists around 10:30 at night on a Tuesday, September 13th, actually. And so at least he did it when kids weren't really lurking around. He did it, mainly it's going to be adults out lingering.
Naked unicycling is definitely a late night activity.
Yeah, I would say. If you're out there in the morning, then you're just reckless.
People will be jogging by, just like, what the fuck?
When he was questioned, he refused to give his name. He didn't have a passport to give the police. So without being able to do any of that, prove who he is or any of that, he's still sitting in the police station. And they're not sure what they're going to charge him with yet.
Not wearing a helmet.
Yeah. Well, no, he had one of the few things he was wearing. He had a helmet.
So he wasn't completely naked. At least he was protecting his head. Well, one of them.
Yeah, the more important head, I believe.
Oh, man. If that happened in America, I feel like they would have just tased him.
Oh, yeah, easily. Yeah, they would have fucking brought that man down, dick swinging, and God knows how he would have reacted from there.
Oh, you get tased naked on a unicycle? You're going to be pissing all over the place.
Oh, fuck yeah, you're definitely pissing yourself. And God, it's an electric one, so he's probably going to end up even worse.
It's not the way you want it to end. And in our next story, a California man pees on a deputy while being arrested for drug possession.
Ah, well, he just wanted to show that he was not approving of the service the deputy was giving him.
Yeah, I don't know. This guy looks pretty shocked that he was even caught. His
oh my God!
His mugshot looks very surprised. He's like a deer in the headlights of the camera flash. The California man was arrested with drug charges after he was loitering near Miners Ravine Nature Reserve near Sacramento. And he was acting bizarrely and definitely did not look like he was interested in the beauty that the park offers, investigators said.
He wasn't there to swing on any set.
Upon his arrest, the Placer County Sheriff Office wrote on Facebook that he struggled with law enforcement officers and urinated on one deputy during the encounter.
Oh, man.
It's not a mechanism to get out of being arrested. So,
no.
And you know what? They might be nice enough to let you fucking use the bathroom when you get to the fucking station. If you tell them, hey, I really have to piss.
Well, his theory was if he pisses all over himself, they're not going to want to touch him. He's free. They're gonna be like, you just go home, man. You're
Run
gross."
back into the woods.
Yeah, one too many TV shows for that gentleman.
One too many fucking meth hits for him.
Oh, dude.
He's
Yeah.
looking
Oh.
cracked out. Methed out.
Yeah, he definitely. Poor guy. He just does not look like a normal person, and he never will. But man, that meth, it'll make you do crazy things. And I think the gentleman in our next story might have had a little meth himself. Now, apparently there was a disturbance in La Puente, California, and a guy was climbing around jumping roof to roof, causing all kinds of nuisance. He was up there for a total of 5 hours. And like, as you can imagine, like I don't know, like when you have somebody doing your roof, they're like running around up there and you hear them
Training to be
you could get the feel of
Spider-Man?
that.
Like, what the fuck?
Dude, so it's probably so annoying. You just hear this dude running around your roof. You're like, what the fuck is he doing? Just running back and forth, jumping roof to roof. All the houses are like really close.
It's just,
Not much
yeah,
of a
imagine
yard.
I'm sitting in my living room and I hear like, thudunk. I'm like looking up like, what the fuck was that? And it's like, dun 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 whoop. You hear, dun. I'm like another roof.
You'd want to do something about it, you know? You'd be like, this can't go on for long.
Fucking up your tiling.
Dude, yeah, you're gonna have a leaking roof now. This asshole's gonna come flying through the roof if he keeps jumping. Well, that's where an 83-year-old resident stepped in and decided to go up on the roof and confront this asshole. Now, he went right to business. He went over to the guy and he tried to grab him and he was gonna bring him down. He was bringing him off the roof. The guy tried to fight, so they went to like a joint where the roof raises, and he kind of gets in a struggle and throws this guy right off the fucking roof onto his daughter's car.
Bam, right onto the hood.
Dude, just throws him right off onto her car. Fucking, it's a beautiful video.
I just love how matter-of-factly this guy was like, I'm just going to end this. I'm forcing this guy off the roof. Like, he didn't want to leave on his own. I'm going to make him get off the roof physically.
Yeah, well, apparently, I guess the cops were trying to negotiate with him, get him off there. They had a crisis negotiator on the scene talking to him through a fucking megaphone. And
This
that's when
isn't like a
Grandpa
hostage situation.
Grandpa was like, he's just an idiot on drugs. I'm going up there.
Yeah, he was an idiot, because I was thinking, like, if you get a ladder and you put it up there, like, if he doesn't want to get thrown off, then he should have, like, been kicking the ladder down so people couldn't get on the roof, but clearly he wasn't playing defense.
Nah, dude. Yeah, he must have been drugged out.
Because Grandpa got up there and fucking tossed his ass.
Yeah, as soon as Grandpa chucked him off, he was taken to a hospital to be evaluated for any injury, and also he needed some mental health checkups.
Didn't realize that Grandpa was in the fucking WWE.
Dude, oh my god, it looked like that legendary like WWE fucking scene where the guy gets thrown off the cage.
Oh, yeah.
It's just
Except this
reminded
time
me
it
of
was
that.
onto a fucking, like,
Car.
Ford Taurus or something.
yeah, just a horrible thud. The guy's definitely dazed when he's like hits too. He gets off, he's like, oh fuck.
They never really found out why the guy was up there either, right?
No, that's why they're like trying to figure out what the fuck is going on with him.
Some
He's
people
just
are
crazy,
reckless.
or if he was on drugs.
Some people
Yeah,
are
man.
just straight reckless.
Yeah. Some people live their life at full red line and
The man in
end up
our
in bad
next
spots.
The man in our next story is definitely one of those people.
Oh yeah.
Well, a man from Wales has been fined $330 for getting drunk and swimming across the Hoover Dam.
Oh my god. Yeah, the top part, right? Like there's like a really long like stretch above the top,
Yep,
and then it goes down to like the crazy dam part.
yep.
So, dude,
So-
like can he get sucked into any like mechanicals like up top there? That's crazy.
Well, luckily for him, the turbines were off at the time, and authorities later said that, you know, that's probably the only reason that he that he actually survived the swim. But he said there was like a current pulling him, and he got tired about halfway through. And the water was around 45 to 40 degrees. Him and his friends were, you know, having a week in Vegas, and they, quote, made the hangover look lame.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm sorry, tame. Either way.
We'll have a follow-up article in the next episode where it's like these assholes were attached to a string of crimes through Nevada.
Yeah, right? It's like you don't get to just fucking steal a tiger, guys. It's not how it works.
Yeah, yeah.
So his friends and him are standing there at the Hoover Dam, and he thinks to himself, fuck it, I'm going for a swim. And he jumps in, and then all of his friends start cheering him on as he's like swimming across the Colorado River. He said,
those are good friends.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, they were rooting for him for sure. It took him
They were
about
equally
30 minutes
intoxicated.
to fucking swim the entire thing.
Holy fuck, dude. You imagine how exhausted he was after that? He's like, fuck, I thought this would take me 10, 15 tops.
Yeah, and he said that he could feel the water pulling him towards the dam. So, that's probably a little concerning.
He was heard just screaming, damn, damn, as he swam across.
Damn. He was, sucked towards the wall and had to swim really hard, and then once he got to the other side, he was exhausted, where he heard police shout at him. And then they gave him a $330 fine for jumping, diving, swimming from the dam spillways or other structures. He says he also has a tattoo saying no regrets, because that's the type of person he is.
I like that. That's a good characteristic right there. He's for the moment.
$330 worth it?
Well, I mean, it depends on how much publicity he gets, because, I mean, that seems like he just got a record there.
Yeah, he's the only one, supposedly, to have actually swam across it and survived.
You're running a company, he comes to you, it's on his resume, he's like, I'm the only guy that's ever swam across the Hoover Dam. What do you think I won't do for this company?
If he's a lifeguard...
Damn,
maybe.
you're hired.
Yeah, like, he can swim. That's damn sure. Well, I mean, this isn't like a normal feat either. Like, just to give people perspective, 275 people have died at the Hoover Dam over the last 10 years. I don't know if that's like people jumping in and trying to swim it, or just
can you imagine
people falling
everybody
off.
else just died before him? Like, it's like, oh yeah, 20 people try a year, they just all die.
He did it like not even knowing. He's like, oh.
Usually the turbine's on 24/7. We just had it down for maintenance, luckily, when he did.
Right? That's 27 and a half people every year. So you don't want to be one of those 27 and a half people each year. It's worse than roller coasters.
Yeah.
Roller coasters kill less people than the Hoover Dam.
You might not want to swim where there's no lifeguard. You know, lifeguards, they usually have other jobs. You know, it's usually like a part-time gig. Well, one lifeguard in Manatee County, Florida, is a sign language interpreter, because his brother is deaf, so he picked up the skill, you know, just to have as a function in his household. Well, he was hired to be a translator during an emergencies like operations conference for the county. And apparently he didn't do that good of a job, because he mostly signed things that you couldn't even understand, just plain gibberish. And he was references pizza monsters often, and said the phrase, help you at that time to use Big Bear.
So this guy's literally talking gibberish the entire time, when this is supposed to be like an emergency warning for people in like a weather event.
Oh yeah. This is supposed to be something that's like crucial to get the like information out to the people. And this asshole's talking about monsters and big bears and fucking... It's ridiculous.
The man's built like a stand-up comedian.
He is built like a stand-up comedian. I almost wonder if it's intentional, but I mean, I guess it wasn't clear enough. Like, as you know, like the phrase "help you at that time to use bear big." Like, it's just like he is speaking gibberish.
Yeah, and that's not helpful at all. This is like the second or third time that this has happened. We're at a severe lack of qualified sign language specialists in this country.
Yeah, just translating bullshit to people when it's like important conferences and talks like that everybody wants to hear.
How
about.
cocky do you have to be to take that job and be like, I'll figure it out?
Yeah, I'll wing this.
It's a language.
It's like, fuck,
you know.
what's hurricane again? Fuck, he just spins his hands in a whirlwind. He doesn't look that comfortable in the video, honestly.
No, not at all. And you know, he might know some because it looks like he's spelling out some words, but
yeah,
a lot of this just seems to be gibberish and bullshit. There's a video on the article that we can be sure to put up where they actually captured his terrible sign language.
Yeah, this article came from AL.com, which is an Alabama news outlet. but I'm sure there's other news stories covering it. Just look for the sign language interpreter. Use gibberish. Warn of bears, monsters during Hurricane Irma update.
Oh man, yeah, I hope they didn't pay him for that shit.
They were like, "You're not getting paid."
And that
What the fuck? When did we mention pizza? When?
he did at some point. I swear they snuck it into the speech. You just didn't hear it.
Yeah. It was something about place being blown apart and a hot toasted slice. I don't know.
It's like make sure you have non-perishable foods like pizza. Hide them from the bears and monsters.
Always check under your bed for goblins.
So that wraps up the weird news for the week, and we have a funny clip, which is brought to you by Tinder.
Ah, man. You know, I'll say, I mean, you get desperate at times sometimes. You want to meet a girl, but this guy really takes desperate to a whole new level.
This is what I call the fastest thumbs in the West.
Jesus Christ, man. This guy is just flicking... He is swiping right so hard that he burned a hole in his screen.
Yeah, there's definitely a divot across the glass from where he's
he needs
swiping there.
Soon. He's about to hit chips.
And he's at a baseball game. That's the funniest thing. So this guy's at a baseball game. He's on Tinder, and he's just swipe right, swipe right, swipe right, swipe right. And it looks like the video was taken on Snapchat. It says, "Hell yeah, brother." So he's getting a lot of support, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's probably a sad story, honestly. He's probably thinking, like, man, I used to go to the games with my girlfriend, and I miss her.
So he pulls it
I
up.
need to get a replacement.
Don't they limit you after a
Rapid
while?
fire.
You, like, get cut off?
Yeah. You only, unless you pay for, like, Tinder Premium, which you have to be a serious creep to pay for a dating site like that.
Just go with the free versions and do what this guy's doing. It's match with everyone.
Yeah.
You're bound to find someone, I guess.
Oh no, I think he's got premium. I think he burned through the limit for the day easily in that video.
Just in the video.
I think he's a premium.
So we'll be sure to put that up on our Facebook page. Every Wednesday we throw up the funny video of the week. And we'll be putting this Tinder motherfucker who's stealing all your girls.
Blasting him. Yeah, Mr. Steal Yo Girl.
Now we're going to talk about some video games.
It's me, Mario.
Finish him.
Dead by Daylight, man. Fucking loving it. It's ridiculously fun to play together, especially.
Absolutely.
Playing with a buddy is definitely funner than playing alone, I'll say that much. But Jesus Christ, is it creepy as fuck.
Yes, it's very creepy. It's a survival multiplayer game where you can either play as a killer or a survivor. And you either are escaping or taking out all of the survivors.
Yeah, and it's getting cool because they're adding on like additions like to real killers based out of cinematic history, such as Michael Myers, and Leatherface is like a new update that's coming out.
Yep. And they gave it away on a free play weekend on Xbox. It's $30 or like by itself if you just actually want to buy the game, which we've considered.
I think it's worth it. I think it's well worth it, and you'll hear from us that we probably bought it in the next month.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, $30 is not a bad price for this game because there's a lot of playability out of it. Even like just switching back and forth between playing a survivor and playing a killer, and
Killer.
it seems like it's got a little bit more in terms of like strategy with like items and stuff like that than Friday the 13th, right?
Well, there's like a lot of items in Friday the 13th. Like unlike Dead by Daylight, you can pick up a wrench and like stun Jason, which is kind of nice.
Okay.
I noticed that's kind of scary in Dead by Daylight. You can't do shit against the killer. You're just like getting hunted down, and you better run if he fucking finds you.
Most you can do is like push some stuff in their path when they're like chasing you.
Yeah, whereas like in Friday, you really are like running into cabins and like blockading them, and then like trying to ditch out a window to like lose Jason that way if he gets you. It's very limited, and the items are very limited as well. Like the items are used for like building a boat or a car, like repairing it. You need to get specific items, and then there's one way to kill Jason, which is really you gotta like fucking research it. So that's kind of annoying too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like a really legit step that you have to have other people that are cooperating with you to do.
Okay. And I mean, that's tough if you're not playing with people in like a party.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas Dead by Daylight, everybody can like get away like by one person doing all the work, really.
Yeah, because you want to basically there's 5 generators. You have to repair them in order to open an exit gate. And yeah, I mentioned earlier when we were playing that I've had super players on my team where they literally just get all of the generators going and like opened it up and good to go.
Yeah, and you get like an instant win. It's definitely a very like it's funny it came out at the same time as Friday the 13th because they're both very unique games. I thoroughly enjoy this one. I think I give this one the thumbs up. I'm kind of upset that I bought Friday the 13th now.
Well, I mean, we'll see what happens once they add that first player mode, I guess. See if it's any
better.
better.
If it's any better. Yeah, I'm not holding my breath on it.
So yeah, if you didn't catch Dead by Daylight this weekend, it's not free anymore, unfortunately, but you can still buy it for $30. I'd say it's worth it. Maybe you'll see us on there. I'm hoping to post some of our clips from that game to the Facebook page so that people can see it and check it out.
Yeah, get a feel for it. That's how I usually check out a game if I'm gonna like it. Is I view like a clip that somebody's playing
Right.
it, get a feel for that gameplay.
So now we got some games with gold to go over. These are the games that are free this month if you have Xbox Live Gold.
Yeah, the first one, Hydro Thunder Hurricane. It's pretty wicked. It's a sequel to Hydro Thunder from PS1 actually.
It reminds me of the
That one's
I believe there was like a Hydro Thunder cabinet game too back in like the arcade days.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, you had to get that by the 15th, but it's definitely a cool racer. Hopefully, you got a chance to pick that up.
Yeah, it's a big racing game like theme for this month because they also gave away Forza Motorsport 5, the racing game of the year edition.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and that's available to the 30th, so you'll still have a few days to get it when this is live. That's a solid game, and I believe the multiplayer is still up. The servers are still running, which I used to play drifting mode on there, which was really fun.
Yeah, I played around with it. Racing games aren't normally my thing, but I enjoyed Forza. I don't know, for some reason I'm much more attuned to like the Grand Theft Auto driving where it's like super touchy, or well, not as touchy I should say.
Yeah, because this is a racing simulator. It's like comparable to the Gran Turismo series from PlayStation. Right. It's dead on like tuning and very advanced settings, so it's something to step into.
It's fun. It's definitely a fun game.
Yeah.
The next one that they're giving away is called Oxenfree, and this is available from September 16th to all the way to October 15th for Xbox One. I had a little bit of time this morning to play this game, and it's interesting. It's definitely kind of slow paced, at least in the beginning.
Okay.
It's
so you really gotta stick
a girl
to it for a minute.
and her new stepbrother end up on this ferry going to an island where these high schoolers go to party every year, and you kind of walk through dialogue choices and make decisions to go into this cave, and then when you start tuning your radio, weird things start to happen, and that's about as far as I've gotten. It starts to get kind of weird from that point on, I guess. There's like a supernatural element to it.
Okay.
But it's kind of, you walk around, it's a little bit of like, I don't want to say puzzle solving really, but it's a slower paced game. It's not like you're going to be like hacking with a sword or like shooting with guns or anything. It's more of like an adventure type of game if you're into that kind of thing.
And our last game we're going to cover is Battlefield 3 is available from September 16th to the 30th. That's definitely one you want to check out if you have never played the Battlefield series especially. It's a great first-person shooter.
The helicopters.
It's really a battle simulator. The helicopters are insane. The multiplayer is the widest. It's the largest scale warfare multiplayer there is.
I just remember I used to love ripping it up with the helicopters and that. They were kind of tough to control, but once you got the hang of it, you could like go strafe like a building with machine guns, just take out like everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Battlefield.
The
3
jets were crazy
Yeah,
too.
the jets.
Yeah, the jets were a lot of fun. I remember like just sitting there and like rigging the jets like with C4 and letting the enemies take them and blow them up
Right.
too.
Or you would, eject out and land on like top of somewhere with a sniper rifle and be able to like pick stuff off going in from
Yeah,
parachute.
dude. Yeah, you literally have to look for people everywhere in this game. It's crazy.
From what I remember, the first player story mode is pretty good too.
Yeah, it's really good. It takes place in like a fictional war that occurs in 2014, and it covers regions in like the Iran-Iraq area, and then also you step foot in like Paris and New York City. So it's
right.
like cool. It brings you all over.
Yeah, that's a.
Has a really crazy mission in New York.
I'm so glad they're giving that one away. That's from the 16th to the 30th, so small window of time, but be sure to grab it if you haven't played it.
Yeah, for single player alone, it's worth it. Let alone the best multiplayer of any. Like, fuck Call of Duty. I'm just saying that. Now I think it's time to get weird.
Oh yes, we're going with the Wheel of Weird. Now, how the Wheel of Weird works, we scour the pages of the Wiki Unusual documents to find the weird, the bizarre, the odd, and strange. And we pick a person, place, and thing. We give a little spin to our wheel, and whatever it lands on, that's what we're talking about. You want to tell the people what our choices are this time around?
Now, for our persons, we have the Zombeetles. For our place, we have Itha. And then for our thing, we have Escopetera.
I'm very interested to see what we're talking about today.
Escopetera. Well, it's been spinning the whole time. It's got a good bearing, so we're gonna just have to wait this out, people. I know. We're holding up the airwaves.
Suspense builds.
We're holding you ransom or
Hostage.
what's the word I'm looking for? We're holding you hostage. Yeah.
Through your
yeah,
earbuds.
real smooth. Thing.
Thing. The Escopetera.
No, place, sorry.
Itha. So we're talking about Itha. Itha, spelled Ithaa, means mother of pearl in Devehi. And it's an undersea restaurant that's located 5 meters or 16 feet below sea level at the Conrad Maldives Ringali Island in Alif Dahal Atoll in the Republic of Maldives. And the Maldives is like a really popular vacation spot.
Huh. Maldives. I've never heard of this place.
It's off of, I want to say India. You can double check on that.
Yeah, it's in the Indian Ocean, right off of India. Wow.
And it's got like those
That's out of that.
little canopies, with the stilts over the water. Like you can like get a hotel room that's like literally out in the middle of like the ocean there, just off the beach. It's fucking beautiful.
Wow, this is kind of like Hawaii for India. That's
Yeah,
what it seems like.
it's,
It's a chain of islands.
It's definitely along those lines. To Indian Hawaii.
Now, this restaurant is insane looking underwater. Like you're under the water, full glass. It's beautiful.
It's a cool concept, Imagine being able to see like turtles swimming by while you're eating your chicken, or like
Just
some sharks.
Yeah, like I'm looking. Yeah, there's tons of fish around the and coral too, for that fact. You're right in the reef. It's kind of wild.
Now, unfortunately, you can't visit Itha anymore. It lived and died already. And it had an estimated lifespan of 20 years. That's why we like to inform people, though, is, it's not around anymore. It's not like anyone's making new memories about it, but now you know about it, even though it's not around. They blew it up and sunk it
Oh, God.
into the seabed.
85 tons of sandbags loaded into its belly.
Blew that fucker up.
It's fucking crazy, man. Jesus. Well,
It's
all things must come to an end.
Just like this episode.
As this episode, yeah. Check out our Facebook and our Instagram. All you got to do is search American Slacker Podcast, and you'll find us there. Check out our main hub, AmericanSlackerPodcast.com. And also, if you want to send us an email, it's AmericanSlackerPodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to find us on Spotify, where you can find all of the artists that we cover on this show, and you'll be jamming in no time. Search American Slacker Podcast.
You can also find us on Twitter and Reddit at AMERSLKR Podcast. Please rate and review us on iTunes, 5 stars or nothing. And please, if you have a friend who would enjoy the show, tell them about us. You can send them over to the YouTube channel if they do not know how to work the podcast app. We have all of our newest episodes and our bonus content all going up there. And if you want even more bonus content, become our Patreon sponsor, where you will get rewards, which we kind of did a little different now. If you take a look over at the Patreon site, you'll see that we've eliminated all the tiers. Any level that you donate at, you get all the rewards. So it's completely open now.
You get all of it. Hell yeah.
We're giving it all to you, which means you get a shout out like we gave to the 3 people, well, more than 3, 2 podcasts and a person up at the top of the show. You can also ask us a question. We'll add you to our Xbox friends list. Whole bunch of shit. So check out our Patreon.
And also, we're calling out any animators. If you know one, if you are one, we need to get in touch with you. We're looking at a project in the future, and we need some help. So get at us, people. We need some decent animating skills. And don't forget to stalk us on our personal lives. You can check me out on Instagram at MWGmedia, and my Snapchat and gamertag are MattyG from HP.
And for all of my social media, you can find me at Landers the Plane.
Well, thanks for tuning in, people. We love every single one of you. Until next time, that's it.
There you go.